As you might already have noticed, President Volodymyr Zelensky meets Rishi Sunak right here in Kiev. Good afternoon, this is Henry Kino on UATV English, bringing you the hard truth in easy terms for the whole free world, as usual, directly from Ukraine. Rishi Sunak has made a surprise visit to Kiev to announce a new package of military aid, security assurances and humanitarian support. Officials said the £2.5 billion package will provide Ukraine with long-range missiles, air defense, artillery ammunition and maritime security, finally. The Prime Minister has signed a UK-Ukraine agreement on security cooperation with President Volodymyr Zelensky, committing the UK to provide intelligence, sharing, cybersecurity, medical and military training and defence industrial cooperation. The UK will also provide £2.5 billion in military aid to Ukraine in 2024-25, an increase of £200 million, that is, on the previous 2 years. About more £200 million will also be spent on a push to procure and produce thousands of military drones. The UK package will be the largest delivery of drones to Ukraine from any nation, according to Downing Street. Most are expected to be manufactured in the UK. It will also provide the country with long-range missiles, air defense, artillery ammunition and maritime security. Just as I mentioned, the Ukrainian president has said his forces particularly need air defense systems to fend off Russian aerial barrages. More than 500 drones and missiles were fired between 29th December and 2nd January, according to officials in Kiev, and I can confirm that. And a cherry on the top for you. Responding to Mr. Sunak's visit, former Russian President Comrade Dmitry Medvedev warned the UK against any deployments in Ukraine. Comrade Medvedev, now deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, said, "I hope that our eternal enemies, the arrogant British, understand that deploying an official military contingent to Ukraine would be a declaration of war against our country." A Russian bear roars like that and goes back to sleep as usual. Lithuania, then Estonia, then Latvia. Zelensky visited all three Baltic countries and met with three presidents and three prime ministers, 3 times expressing gratitude. Zelensky was seeking the obvious to bolster support amongst other Western backers. I hope you are aware that all three nations, Lithuania, Estonia and Latvia, are former Soviet republics that are now EU and NATO members. This is exactly why they stand for Ukraine with no wavering, so common for fatty and somewhat lazy Europe that tends more to talk about human values than actually defend it. Some say support is wavering. Well, it is fine. It is usual for support to waver when supporters are not shelled, not bombed, raped and burnt under Russian fire. I'm sure that if not Zelensky and Kuleba with their explanations, but a Russian missile somehow occasionally would at some point visit Brussels or Berlin, that will be the most vivid explanation, and the European support for Ukraine would immediately waver back to a super strong position. Putin is not going to stop, Zelensky said. He wants to occupy Ukraine completely, and sometimes the insecurity of partners regarding financial and military aid to Ukraine only increases Russia's courage and strength. He, Putin, won't finish this war until we all finish him together, Zelensky said, adding Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Moldova might be next. Baltic states knows that. My native Latvia does too. We understand why Ukraine needs air defense systems badly and urgently, and we understand that Russia would do everything to prevent it from happening, from buying more Orbans to killing more Ukrainians. Latvia has seen Ukraine under intense Russian shelling in recent weeks, with a total of 500 deadly devices Ukraine destroyed, 70% of them, still a lot of dead and a lot of destruction. Seizing the opportunity, please let me address my native Latvia in easy Latvian terms. Mana mīļa Latvija. Ļauj man Latvijas pilsonim un žurnālistam, kurš kopš kara sākuma strādā Ukraina, kurš ir bijis Buča, Irpēna, Harkova, Odesa, fronte un aizmugurē, ka cilvēkam, kura pagalma trapīja Krievijas raķeti. Ļauj man pateikties tev par atbalstu Ukrainai tas karā pret noziedzīgu Putina režīmu. Ļauj man apliecināt, tava palīdzība ir jūtama un novērtēta. Ukraina redz, ka Latvija ir maza valsts, kas ļoti labi atceras, kāda īsti bija padomju Krievija agrāk un kas īsti ir Putina režīms šodien. Terors, asins, deportācija, vārdarbība, nelikumība, kas tiks pasludināta par likumu. Pēc tam bija sapīga Latvijas atgriešanās pie savas brīvības, savas vēstures un sava ceļa izvēles. Ukrainas vārdā vēlos tev nodot, lai Dievs sveti Latviju arī par to, ko tā dara Ukrainas labā. Paldies un uz ceru drīzu tikšanos. On January 10th, a meeting of the UN Security Council on the supply of North Korean ammunition to Russia was held in New York. Ukraine and the members of the UN Security Council, France, Japan, Malta, the Republic of Korea, Slovenia, the United Kingdom and the United States strongly condemned the violation by Russia and North Korea of Security Council resolutions banning the export of North Korean weapons. The DPRK, as always it is the case with any dictatorship, chooses the path of escalation. Kim Jong-un called for preparation for an imminent war with the Republic of Korea. I love that. I wonder what is the make of the television cameras that sent Kim Jong-un's address to its impoverished nation. I believe it is Western, right? Or maybe even South Korean. Samsung, maybe? Since North Korea produces nothing but fear, poverty, death and war, which makes it a perfect Russian ally. By exporting missiles to Russia, North Korea is obviously using Ukraine as a testing ground for its nuclear-capable missiles and those that can be used in the Asia-Pacific region. Surely the export of North Korean weapons is expressly prohibited by a number of UN Security Council resolutions, but that is, again, exactly the case with all dictatorships. You see, they just do not give a damn about any law, any restriction, or any common sense at all. They are their own crooked law. They are their own criminal common sense and usurped restriction. They just do not care. And they will go nuclear when the time comes. We all know Russia does not have any place in the UN Security Council because it brazenly violates all laws in general and the decisions adopted by it within the framework of the body in particular, decisions aimed at preventing the threat of escalation of the situation in Asia-Pacific region. Russia, just as North Korea, just doesn't care. I believe it is the world's choice and obligation to make Russia care. All you have to do is give us Ukraine necessary weapons and see what happens. Well, that's all, folks. It was Henry Keane in UATV English studio breaking out truth to easy terms for the whole free world directly from Ukraine. Please like, subscribe and share. Help us to promote Ukrainian voice worldwide. And of course, express your opinion in the comments below. It matters a lot. Stay safe and tune for more. Goodbye.